Hey guys, up in the Sacramento mountains today, making another quick little video. Recently I saw on YouTube the guy Nico Ortiz and a couple other ones that got suggested. Recently he did a video on eating an MRE at basic training, specifically like for the Army, for the Marine Corps as well. But he did a video going over the different things, keep, what not to keep, etc. And so I saw that and I thought about making a video on the different things that I've done and learned and heard about with an MRE to not only field strip an MRE, what to keep, what not to keep, and then also, the items that you keep, potentially, what are you making with it? What are you doing with it? So that's what this little video is about. But first, this video is sponsored by Nautilus Ammunitions and Brownells. Use code BUSH10 for your next order of American-made ammunition from Nautilus, and use code BOP10 on your next order of guns, gear, firearm accessories from Brownells, and let them know Bushbud sent you. All right, thanks. All right, so as many of you who have watched the channel before have seen, I've done ration reviews before. Not necessarily inspiration, but just a lot of information and knowledge from Steve 1989 here on YouTube. That's kind of, I've always liked MREs growing up. It was my motarded way of, appreciating military stuff, blah, blah, blah. And so that's, what got me really into MREs, military rations and whatnot. So we're going to start off the video with just opening up an MRE and doing the keep and to not keep video portion. However, mine may be different than others. This is just from experience and whatnot. So you can either use your pocket knife, your teeth, or you can attempt to peel. They don't open every single time on the seam. I've always had trouble with like meal cold weathers and rations like that opening on the seam, but I've never really had a big issue. I've always had the issue of it kind of tearing like this, but I've never had the issue of peeling it open. So we'll take the contents out. This is an older one. Let's really quickly look at the date. Give me a decent date. 282nd day of 2019. So this ration's almost 4 years old. So we have crackers, vanilla pudding dessert powder, lemon lime beverage powder, accessory packet, chocolate peanut butter, chocolate peanut spread, recovery trail mix, the sleeve for the cheese tortellini, your beverage bag, your MRE heater, and your spoon. So right off the bat, the trail mix is, now does it have, so recovery trail mix, I'm looking to see it, it would say candy coated chocolate discs, which it doesn't have. So this is just regular trail mix. So you keep the trail mix because it's 300 calories just for this small packet, and there's not a lot of air in it, so I can get pretty small in your pocket, right? Now, this vanilla dessert powder, there's a bunch of air in here, but it's another 300 calories, and you don't have to eat it with water. Yes, it'll make your mouth somewhat dry, but you don't have to eat it, like put water in it to make it. That's going to be over in the keep pile. The lemon lime beverage, the hot beverage bag. I use these more of a storage thing. Roll it up, put it in your breast pocket, hold on to it. Peanut butter we're going to keep. The crackers, so it depends on what you get with the crackers, like the peanut butter chocolate spread. One of the things you can do with these crackers, break them up in the packet, right? Break them up in the packet really well. And you can carry them around broken up, or kind of put together, whole, and then break them up. And then you rip the top off and you add the peanut butter in there. And it's kind of almost like a Reese's, whether it's chocolate peanut butter or regular peanut butter. It's almost like a Reese's cereal, like a peanut butter cereal, right? So we're gonna keep that. The accessory packet has got Tabasco, toilet paper, coffee. So you want to keep, I'll open this up. You want to keep your salt, and you want to keep, So that's, I've had a Splenda, actual name brand Splenda, but that kind of pisses me off because I was hoping there'd be a sugar in it. So we want to do generally, you want to keep your sugar and your salt. And what you use the salt for is when you open up the heater, if you're utilizing the heater, now you don't have to, obviously, you can eat the food cold, but if you're utilizing the heater, the best thing to do is to rip open the top, pour some of your salt packet in the bottom of the heater before you put the water in, because salt water will make this burn, chemically heat faster. Another trick with the heaters too is hold them like this. It's got the same type of iron filings, or the metal type, heavier metal type filling that makes the chemical reaction that makes the heat. So like with the hot hands, when you take it out of the packet, you shake it up and it gets hot. You take this, you do this a little bit, move those molecules around and whatnot, kind of move them around, right? You rip the top off, take your salt packet, pour maybe, let's flick this down. So that's how much salt you get. Maybe pour about that much salt into the bottom, put your water in it. Now you can put your packet in before or after you do this. It's personal preference. You lean it against a rock or something. So open, ration, salt, water, fold over, put it in here. I know a lot of this is self-explanatory. Put it in here, lean it up against something, whatever. The rest of your salt, you don't want to use all of it. So remember, I folded that, so I said to use about that much of the salt. So then half of that salt you want to put into a canteen cup. You could use the beverage bag if you wanted to. If you don't have a canteen cup, you want to put that with your whole packet of sugar in it. Just about that much salt. Oh, opened it. About a pretty big pinch full of salt in your whatever vessel you're using, and then you want to put the whole sugar packet in it. We're making what's called Rangerade. Now you have your drink mix, so you can put your drink mix in with that too. You have the sugar, you get the extra sucrose. The salt gives you some extra sodium, both for your depleted electrolytes. So you can add those, all three of those together. If you've already drank this by itself as a drink, but you still have your sugar and your salt, you can make it. Do not put enough salt in. I would put the sugar in first and then sprinkle salt. You don't want it to be salty. You want to taste the salt, but it not be revolting, making you want to like gag, right? So you can mix those together. So in this MRE, I mean, other than keeping the coffee, right? Keep the coffee. We throw this away. We throw the main package away. Now, if you have more than one MRE, or if you're bringing your own like titanium spoon or your big mess kit spoon, throw the spoon away. You got your salt and your sugar you kept with this. You can put them in here if you want. You can put them, you know, what I do is I put these together and I try and fit as much into this cardboard sleeve before I take some electrical tape and just tape them together. Because if you can put everything in this cardboard sleeve, right? So we crumbled up the crackers, so let's kind of push those in here, put those in there. You've got this. You can put the coffee and the other things in the bag, or not. You put them right there. You take the beverage right here, take this, put those together, and then you would take your electrical tape and wrap it around to hold these together. And look how much smaller that is. Here, I have a second MRE that I just opened to get the heater out before, but I brought with me. But you see how big? This one's pretty flat. You see how kind of big and cumbersome this is? So if you're able to kind of compact it all into the little sandwich, like a sandwich like that. Piece of electrical tape this way, piece of electrical tape that way. Like I said, with the vanilla powder, you don't have to put water in it to eat it. With the recovery trail mix, you could add your peanut butter You could add the crackers and the peanut butter, because the peanut butter is 150 calories. Trail mix is 300. That's 450, and then the crackers are 170. Is it 620? That's 620, I think. That's 620 calories to mix your crackers, your trail mix, and your chocolates, your peanut butter together, all in here. And then the great thing is you don't necessarily need a spoon, because once you mix it together, you slowly start rolling up from the bottom from a package and just eat it that way. And then once you're done eating the dried stuff, the actual chunky stuff, you can squeeze out whatever remnants of the peanut butter is left. Couple other little tricks with your beverage packet. Regardless of the flavor, if you get cranberries or raisins, this is what I learned from one of my 11 Bravo buddies. You get cranberries or raisins, you take your dry mix beverage bag, you open up your fruit, cranberries, raisins, you add the dry mix to it, shake it up really good. It coats it kind of like a Sour Patch candy. You do that, and you have both, because then that's 80 calories, but you get the electrolytes and the sucrose from the drink mix while you're eating, two in one, without using water. But you can sip on water, but you don't have to specifically designate water. You can do the same thing with the vanilla pudding powder. You can add your crackers to that, put the peanut butter in there, mix that up and eat it that way. It's granular, but it's basically like whey protein powder. Well, this one isn't protein. They give protein pudding in shakes in the newer ones, but this is already 4 years old. Obviously in your main, we threw away the Tabasco, but it's not cumbersome. It's just, especially the new glass Tabasco bottles, what if you put that in your pocket and you fall down? It breaks, right? What happens if you break your freaking little Tabasco bottle in your back pocket or your other pocket? You could end up, get hurt, whatever. I'm just, I think that kind of way, like with nominal things, like, do you need it? No, then don't bring it. You don't, now, like saying that, you don't need to bring the cardboard. If you're not heating your ration, you don't need to bring the heater. Let's toss those over here. If you've got your sugar and your coffee and stuff in your pocket, you don't need the bag, right? Oh, let's blow away. Littering's for jackasses. So that's kind of broken down. You're not missing any of the foodstuffs, which is great. This is kind of a, I guess what you could say, a light ration. But it'll get the job done. What's the calories in this? So 260. So you're looking at, a good 1,000+ calories. This is a really light one. 260. It's a light one, not a lot of calories in it. So there's a couple of the Rangerade, sugar and salt. You've got your coffee. Another trick to stay awake if you've got guard, if you've got guard duty, 0 balls to 0-2 or whatever. Put this in your lip like a dip. Have your canteen of water, but put this in your lip like a dip. And it's bitter, it'll keep you fucking awake. On the top or bottom. Same thing with the Tabasco. Put the Tabasco, if you're keeping it, if you're in a static position and you're keeping your full MRE, you're not field stripping it before you're going out and you just are given a full MRE, put them in your lip. You can also mix this with with your coffee. Most MREs have coffee, but you mix the coffee with your vanilla pudding powder or your protein, the shakes that they give you. You get that little bit of extra caffeine on top of the calories and whatnot. It's all about kind of almost mixing, not everything, but mixing a lot of the items together so that you, one, can eat them as quickly as possible, but two, get as many calories in you as quickly as possible. You want to carry it light. Now see, look, I'm going to shove all of these in here. Now you could keep the bag. So look, without doing the sandwich method, I shoved them all in there. So yeah, here's the MRE, right? That could fit in a cargo pocket. It's a little bulky, but that's if you want to keep the bag. Because also remember, you keep the bag, you can put garbage in it. The whole chest seal bullshit thing you can do, but there you go. So it's up to you. You can do the sandwich and then wrap the electrical tape around it, like I said. You could take your items after you field strip it and put them back in the bag. Now that it's not air sealed, you can really pull it over, tape it. Depends, like if you want to line the bottom of your ruck with it, you can line 3 across, wrapped up like this. And maybe stand some full ones up. It's totally up to you how you do it. But there were that's just some little tips and whatnot that I've learned that I felt like sharing. So thank you guys for watching. You guys have a great day.